So here we are, myself, Jake, and Matt, about 3,000 miles from home with my friend Cord from Nevada. And we had just spent 3 days preparing his trailer, his truck, a four wheeler, a small cart, and supplies, and then driving 7 hours into Southern California to an area that you would never expect to find the rarest of Dodge diesel trucks in existence. But yet here we are with the slim hope that we can rescue this truck and bring it back to safety. Now, I found out about this truck about 3.5 years ago through a social media friend from Missouri. And I think he knew that we were crazy enough to pull this off if he just gave us a little bit of information. And he was right. With the GPS coordinates that were provided to me through my social media friend, I was able to find the truck's location, the landowner's name, and Google his name for a phone number. I gave him a call, told him who I was and what I wanted the truck for, and we agreed upon a price. Now, the only big issue with removing this truck was there were multiple easement issues. There was a blockade, and there was a lot of fearful residents that thought if the truck was moved from its location, it could tumble down the hill and through the sides of their homes. After 2.5 years of communication with the owner of the truck and local residents, it occurred to me that I was going to have to be the one to do all of the work to remove this truck. And I simply stated to the neighbors that the sooner we got this over with, the sooner I would go away. What you're seeing here is we had just dropped our trailer off and we were proceeding to drive through the residential area on a paved one-lane road to the point where the road turned to dirt and we could no longer drive our truck up through the way. Now, at that point, we had to then shuffle all of our equipment from the pickup truck onto the four-wheeler and trailer or carry it for that additional 600-foot elevation gain to where the truck was sitting. As soon as we had stepped foot on the dirt path, disappointment started to set in. We realized that the path being 4 feet wide was not wide enough for the truck. There was a steep drop off into where the homes were down below, and on the upper side was loose dirt and obvious signs of a landslide. However, we continued to press on and carry all of our equipment up to the top with the slim hope that maybe something would work out in our favor. It was at this point I had realized I had once again roped all of my friends into what one may seemingly call a quest, where I wasn't quite sure what the outcome would be, if we'd all be safe, unscathed, and we'd still be friends. I can't believe we're here right now. I don't know how they got it up here, that's for sure. But it's here.
So, just got the hood open, pack rat stuff down in there. Whew. It's like 1,000 feet to the bottom.
Alright, so while we're trying to come up with a plan here, I'm just going to give you guys a little tour of the truck. So, here's what we found so far. So, we got a hydrovac brake chamber. This is your parking brake. It actually moves. Gear shift moves. So, take a note of this dash. So, what makes this truck special is they stamped this dash around each gauge. See that? How the bead just ends? That was made just for this truck. We got our Borg Warner air brake controller here. Had vacuum wipers on it, of course. Now, on the engine, got 2 fuel tanks. Engine's actually rather promising. Still trying to find a diesel emblem. Heard my friends over there. So we have a 24 volt. There you go. You got a double belt to a 24 volt generator to run the starter. This belt runs off the back to a 6 volt generator for the electrical. That is the air compressor. Here is your 24 volt starter with the coil heater. So, still looking for that emblem. It's here somewhere. And the other thing is the front of the truck is wider. We have these fender extensions that were made by the factory to widen the truck out. I've only ever seen that once. We got that on each side. We got some fresh poopies right there. So, in all honesty, the intake does not look that bad. There's some sort of ether spraying device down in there, looks like. So you got your injection pump here, made by Zexel. And then you have each line running here. This was jammed in the intake for some reason. This is your fuel filter. You got your bleeders here. Water pump, thermostat housing there. So that hose right there looks newer. It's fuel line to here. And I think this is a fuel pressure gauge. It's probably on the dash. I'd really like to take the valve cover off and just see what it looks like while we're kind of passing time right now. But yeah, that's. After looking the truck over and walking the path several times, we decided it was far too dangerous to try to move it from its place in one piece. We took the truck apart, hoping that we could lighten up the chassis, and in worst case, we'd have to call for an airlifting service to lift it out of there if it was too hard to move. I'm using that sheet of plywood. Go.
Hey Charlie, can you help me close the door off?
Yeah. There's the door.
Piece one.
We got a dual off. Alright, so we got the doors, got the fenders, the piston, the HUD. We're swapping wheels, pulling the fuel tanks, pulling the cab. Okay, so we have called a helicopter lifting service just to entertain a quote. So our truck is right here. The trailer is not at that dirt pull-off, but one just closer behind the sagebrush there, about where that car is moving. So it's about a half a mile by the crow flies. The company I called is experienced with moving like disabled off-road vehicles on trails. So we're gonna see just what they give us for a quote.
Cadillac car up here. Suicide door. Nice old pack rat nest in there. What's he done, Jake?
Oh, just changed the station.
So, this car got driven up here, and someone tried to pull the engine with it up there. Oh, you pissed off bees?
Close the door. We'll get through the
Oh shit, there is a ton of bees in there.
So the fender's off. Piecemealing this thing out. Cord's rooting around in here.
Holy shit. Look at that.
That is one of these pistons. That is wild looking.
That is cool.
So I assume there's 6 in it. This is just the spare in case they broke down. 5 piston rings, and I don't know what you call that dome style. Do you?
No idea.
So as we continue to take the truck apart, Matt is shuttling parts back and forth with the four-wheeler, and we are left with this big piece of sheet metal called the cab. Now, we don't have anything to lift it with, so we're trying to figure out what the easiest way is to remove this cab and attempt to bring it down the mountain. You guys ever roll a cab through a bush? Because it's so good. The cab is like awkward and heavy. We are working on getting this thing jacked up to get the tires freed up. We pulled the intake to try to clean it out, and fortunately the factory put these screens on the ports, which kept the mice from going in that thing and peeing all over the valves. And it looks like we have some water damage on 2, but the rest of them look pretty dry. So fingers crossed the condition of this thing's actually usable. Little bird nest. It's kind of cool. You want to hook the quad to it with a chain? Dirt.
Like I say, use your trans brake wisely. Need momentum.
It takes us 2 hours to get it done. That's better than failing.
If you gotta jump off, jump uphill. Don't let it run over you. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Ready? Yep. We had to come up with a way to control our speed going down the hill, and the handbrake was not enough. If we pulled the handbrake, the back tires would spin opposite directions and make the chassis slide out of control. I decided the best way to control the roll speed would be using wrenches on the brake cam adjusters and tighten up the brake cams when the slopes got steep, and then loosen them off when it was flat ground. We got out control as far as the bank.
Well, that's the only thing that we got to worry about. The rear axle spins like that.
We got a little bit of hit. We got a little bit of slippage.
Just want to see if we got control here.
We're using it as a pecker pole. Jake, swing wide.
What?
Swing wide.
We have a lot of room.
All right. Well, I gotta keep the pole straight with you.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of got to maintain. So we got Charlie steering. We got Matt running the brake, emergency brake over there. We found this really nice piece of pipe, really helping us maintain our safe distance. And we're approaching the pipe forest. Thank God.
Get that car, you better stop accelerating. We're going for it.
Well, at this point, we were all pretty exhausted. We drove through the night because we figured if the load ain't right, it's best to leave at night. It took us about 4 hours to get everything situated on the trailer, and we climbed those giant mountains leaving Redlands, California, heading towards Nevada. Once we got back to Nevada, we decided it would be best if we tore that truck apart a little bit, cleaned out the engine, made sure the condition of the internals wasn't too bad, oiled everything, and set it up for a later date on reassembly. We also reassembled the entire body and then began the process of documenting the truck.